Do you understand the difference between the conscious and subconscious mind? Hey, Jason here, and we're still going over a success puzzle. And remember, it's from the Bob Proctor's 12-month-long coaching, self-coaching program. And today I want to talk a little bit about conscious mind and subconscious mind. And it goes hand in hand with the paradigms on how paradigms are created, where they are stored at inside of us, and how we can start changing them. And so let's go ahead and dig into it today. And so the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Now, this is something most of us heard from high school, growing up, and you probably, if you took any type of psychology class, you learned about it, about stuff that Freud said and all of that. However, a lot of this stuff isn't true. A lot of this stuff are half truths, and like I tell people, half truths are still wrong. And so, what is the conscious mind? The conscious mind is our reasoning mind. This is where we can make decisions. And it comes into every decision-making skill that we can make in our life. And this is very important because this is how we can start overriding the paradigms that we've been programmed with. And if you're still having a little bit of an issue with like, hey, I don't understand, I'm not programmed to act a certain way. We're all programmed to act a certain way. Our friends, our family, and our community program us. And so let me show you what I mean by that. From a baby, you take a newborn baby, that baby doesn't know how to do anything in this world. That baby is not like animals. So animals are in a simple conscious state, meaning they only know what their emotional things are, emotional drivers are for an animal. So a mother eagle knows when it's time to get the birds out of the nest and call them to teach them to fly. A cat knows when it's time to start hunting on its own. All of these things are simple conscious states. Now, if you take a newborn baby and you just throw them in the wild, that baby will die. And it's because that baby is not a simple conscious state. And it's not even that self-conscious state. And that is what we are once we get to a certain level. And most research studies showing it starts at about 7 years. At 7 years old, that's when conscious mind develops and it seals off. So what is a baby when it's a baby? So a baby, all the way from baby up to that 6-7 year mark, it is only open with its subconscious mind, meaning it's very creative. The child has an imaginative state. The child is trying to solve things, figure out how to do things. And if you really pay attention, if there's a baby in the house or around you, watch the baby. The baby is looking and listening to everything that is going on. They're just soaking it up, soaking it up, soaking it up. And then the things that we do start, excuse me, then some of the things that we do also start creating the subconscious patterns or the paradigm for that child, such as how are we feeding that baby? Like I see all the time, people feeding a newborn baby some kind of fried food or something really, really sweet and indulgent like a milkshake. And in my mind, I'm like, oh man, this is so toxic because it's creating a food home for that baby that is super sweet, super oily fried foods, and it's nothing healthy. And so like, I'm breaking it down at a very fast rate, but like this is really, really important. One of the ways that I started learning Spanish, I started watching Spanish kids while I was in Panama in Colombia. And I started seeing, it's not that the kids know how to speak Spanish. They come at a very blank state. I don't like goo goo gaga, like they're just making noises. They're watching the mouth of how the person's speaking. They're practicing, they're mimicking, they're failing over and over and over and over again. And then there's one day that child can speak that language. And when I saw that, I was like, let me try this. And I started practicing and I was just watch people's mouth. I see how they move. I would mimic my jaw to the way that they move, try to mimic my tongue the way that they move. And I started understanding Spanish and I started picking it up better. And so when I realized that, then I was like, okay, let me go deeper. Like, let's go into my health. Like, how am I healthier than everyone else in my family? How did I go from really on my deathbed to where I'm just thriving in life right now? And I started doing the exact same thing as when I was learning Spanish. All I started studying was health. How did people get healthy? You always hear those stories about those miraculous cases, those 1 in a million. And I realized that 1 in a million is actually a lot. If you start studying just the 1 in a million, you'll see there's tons of people like that. And now today, I'm even one of those 1 in a million. And so because I started just studying how to be healthy, I stopped listening to how to be sick. I also deleted all of the information out of my mind of what I thought health was, because I realized I was not programmed to be healthy. And when I started analyzing how I was eating, the type of food, breaking it down into macro and micronutrients, I realized, whoa, this is worse than what I thought it was. Even when I was in the military and thought I was eating healthy, I was destroying my body. I was destroying this vessel. And now you look at me now like I'm living great in life. I don't need a CPAP machine anymore. I'm not taking prescription pills anymore. I'm able to just fly around the world. I don't need a seatbelt extender to get on an airplane. Like, all of these little things changed because I started changing my paradigm around health. And so where did it actually change? It changed in my subconscious mind. Now, this is key because our subconscious mind is our emotional mind. School teaches us our brain, and they like, oh, this is your mind. That is a lie. Your mind is not your brain. Your brain is just like a switchboard to send electrical signals all throughout the body. It is not your mind. Your mind is your entire body. All of your body is your mind, from your head to your toe. And let me explain to you why this is, because I know somebody's out there probably like, nah, man, you're just being crazy, Jason. You're going out to La La Land. Think about this. When was the last time you were like walking down the street and you just had this intuition, this gut instinct? That was something in your gut, part of your mind telling you either you need to do something or get away from something. Or when was the last time you did something? Or let's say if you're driving and you're someone who drives in colder states and you hit a patch of ice and you start losing control. Did you have to start thinking about what to do? Or did your muscle memory kick in and you just automatically moved and steered and did what you needed to do? This is very important because that shows that it's our whole body that is our mind. Our mind is our whole body. It is not our brain. Our brain is just a switchboard. And so now that we know that, now that we're getting the understanding that our whole body is our mind, how do you start changing the paradigms of your body? You must get emotionally involved because the paradigm is programmed in our subconscious mind. Because we're all born into this world with our conscious mind, our conscious mind is not developed yet. Our conscious mind is developed through experiences and skills. And our subconscious mind is just our God-created mind, meaning we're coming as our complete free self. And if you see most babies, you'll start realizing all babies, it doesn't matter what nationality they are, all of these things that we've made up, like black, white, Chinese, African, or whatever, those are human concepts. They're not real God concepts. We made these things up. But if you look at all of these babies, no matter what nationality, culture, or wherever it's from in the world, they're all act the same. They're imaginative. They use their imagination. Babies are very happy and loving. They like to smile a lot. They're showing us who we should be as human beings. However, we've been programmed from people who were not happy, who were not using their imagination. And the truth is, we were programmed by people who didn't live in the world that we lived in. You go back 3-4 generations, it was dangerous. Like I keep telling everybody, like it was dangerous back then. Every time I read a book from back then, it was dangerous. We do not live in a dangerous world right now. We live in an ignorant world because we're not aware of who we are. And it's time for us to start evolving at a subconscious level, meaning we have to evolve our feelings now. The human body has evolved to where it doesn't need to evolve anymore. It's a self-replicating body, meaning we can heal ourselves. I'm not gonna go into real big detail about that because, you know, it's some people that get scared of when they're like, oh, I can heal myself. I'm gonna just put it to you like this. There's no doctor that will ever be able to heal you. There's no weight loss coach that will be able to help you lose weight. Even though I can do things that for my life, I cannot get them for you. You must do it. That's what I mean by the body is self-replicating. If you don't do it and you don't take action, you don't change the paradigm of your body, no one else can get it for you. This is the truth. I wish it wasn't the truth. I wish I could just tell people, like, just give out my information to them and they would just start eating right and getting healthier, feeling better, and start realizing, whoa, this is what life could really be. I don't have to be in pain and misery all day. However, that's not how it works because we have to start changing the paradigm in our subconscious mind. Each individual is responsible for their own life. This is the power of free will. And so how do you start changing the paradigm in the subconscious mind? Because it's not like we can just walk down in our mind or inside our body and just go into the subconscious mind. However, we can start programming it again the same way it was programmed as a child. So the way that a kid was programmed, or babies were programmed, was through constant spaced repetition, meaning they were doing things over and over and over and over. Like, look at the school system. School systems are set up in that way to set up a paradigm. I'm not going to say it's a paradigm that's meant to benefit you, but the school systems are set up to put a paradigm inside of you. Most school systems in the world are set up to put a paradigm of you becoming a laborer, meaning go work at some factory, go work at a warehouse. This is outdated programming. If you look in the world now, there's not many warehouses and factories, assembly lines, because robots can do those things better than us. And that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. You don't want to keep working things. I remember I was talking to my brother years ago, and he was telling me about something that he saw on the news, and I was like, why do you care? There's certain jobs in this world I will never work. I'll never work for anyone. But even at that time, there were certain jobs in this world I would never work. So I don't care who goes work those jobs. You're not stealing nothing from me. And that's how we have to start looking at life. There's jobs that we do not want. So let robots have it, let other people have it, whether it's immigrants, people from other countries. Like, we have to change our paradigm. And so to change your paradigm, you have to start using your conscious mind, meaning using our sight, our hearing, our taste buds, everything, all of our senses. And we have to start changing the perception of how we see the world or see our environment or even our circumstances. Like, instead of saying, oh, I'm unhealthy, oh, I'm fat, I'm this, and be like, hey, I am getting healthier. I am improving my diet. Those are two different things. Most of us think those are the same statements. They're not the same statement. They're completely different. And everyone that I've known who has weight problems, they keep telling themselves, I'm fat, I can't lose weight, I can't do this. And then they're wondering why every year around New Year's, they go on a diet or go to the gym and they're not successful, or get weight loss surgery and still not successful. They didn't change the paradigm. If you don't change the paradigm, you will never change your life. So you want to start giving yourself constant spaced repetition of whatever the thing you want to change. Now, I'm going to just focus on health for this video. If you want to apply it to any other area of life, feel free to do that. So from a health perspective, let's say someone, because it's getting close to that time of year where marketing finna get out here and start getting all those money, like, oh, you're gonna see the celebrities on Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, or whatever the rest of that crap is, which isn't gonna get you any results. You must start now, today. What is one thing that you can do healthy towards your life every single day? Is it something as simple as drinking 8 glasses of water? Is it something as simple as eating a side salad with every meal? Is it something as simple as walking in place at home? Like, we have to really look at this and really break it down to a very simple level. Go back to that baby. That baby didn't try to start running at first. First, the baby started crawling because it just wanted to move. Then when it realized, wait, I can crawl, but I can go faster. I see these humans over here, they're on 2 legs, and why am I on 4, walking on 4s? Then they start trying to walk. And then as they're walking, they're getting their balance. Then once they get their balance, they want to run. Then they want to jump. Then they want to jump off of stuff. And that's how we have to do it too. Take it at baby steps. What is the one thing you can do now, right now, today, that you can do each and every day? Don't go from someone who's been sitting on the couch watching TV all day and say, oh, I'm gonna go get a gym membership and start working out. You're not. And the reason why you're not is because it's not in your paradigm. So just to give you an example, even here in South Africa, I was gonna get a gym membership then. I changed my mind because I was like, you know what? My paradigm isn't a gym person, really, per se. Especially when it's like crowded. I don't like being around a bunch of people. And I really hate being in big crowded gyms when it's all sweaty and disgusting. So what I started doing, I was like, you know what? I'm on the 17th floor, something that I can do each and every day. I can walk down the stairs. So every day when I want to go out of the building, I walk down the stairs, 17 flights. Some people will be like, oh, that is crazy. No, that is building a new paradigm, because I want to take my physical health to another level. However, going to the gym is not in my paradigm house right now. It may be in a year from now or 2 years from now, but right now it's not. So I'm starting right here where I'm at with my paradigm. So someone with a paradigm who doesn't like going to the gym, I go and walk down the stairs. And guess what? I feel great about it. every day I get about 6 miles in. Usually by 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm at 3 to 4 miles in, and then I'm pacing and cruising for the rest of the day. Like, really think about that. If you someone that's wanting to release weight, if you were walking 6 miles a day, do you think you would still have a weight issue? Now, I'm not saying go walk 6 miles tomorrow or today, but could you walk 5,000 steps? Could you buy a pedometer, something that can calculate your steps to keep you accountable, so you can become aware of how much you're actually not moving or moving? Because when I first bought a Fitbit, and me and Chantel, we had bought them, we was back living, it was when we had the house in DeSoto's when we first bought them. 10,000 steps was a challenge. People just don't know, like, if I got 3,000 in for a day, I was like, ooh, man, I did a lot. I get 10,000 in on a daily basis now. I still get in about 90, probably about 80 to 90 miles a month in here, because South Africa is not a real walk-friendly country, so I don't walk as much as I did in Colombia. But however, I'm still getting about 80 to 90 miles a month. Like, really think about that. And it started out from years ago when I just bought a Fitbit and I was struggling to do 3,000 steps. So, like, what is the one simple thing that you can do right now today that you can commit to each and every day that will get you to your goal? Because if you do it each and every day, you're going to see 90 days from now, you're not doing the same thing from day one, because you're going to start being like, oh, I got more energy. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do more. And that's the key to start changing your paradigm. And here's an extra step to actually really get it to start changing faster. Get emotionally involved. Now, this don't mean, oh, I'm happy to run. You can lie to yourself all you want. But you know what you can do? You can go walk in place and listen to your favorite music. Like, put some of your favorite songs on. It's like 3 to 5 minutes, and just walk in place during that song. Sit down, take a break. Then when you get back up and start walking, put back on another favorite song. Or if you're watching your favorite TV show every night, walk in place at house and while you're in your home while you're watching it. These are very simple ways, because it's reprogramming your subconscious mind while you're consciously doing something to benefit yourself. And this is the simplest way to start changing your paradigm. You have to take control of your conscious mind, think what you want to think, and then you have to start suggesting that into your subconscious mind through constant spaced repetition.